Story time came up. You and, a handful of other people know that a few years ago, many years ago, I don't know if it was a few, I was going to be on the show, or I was a contestant to be on the show, Big Brother. I think it's like a CBS show or something like that.
Yeah.
I didn't even really watch the show before. I watched it. I watched one season. It was like 20 seasons at the time. I watched the show with my little sister for one season because she liked the show a lot. She was like, Earl, you got to watch the show. It's great. It's one of those shows everybody's living in the same house. Except this one, you're cut off from people, society, technology for the most part, I believe. And people, and the reason it's called Big Brother, right, because people can watch you 24 hours. Like people can get on CBS or whatever it was.com and go to Big Brother, and they can pay a fee to like watch you in the house at all points in time.
Paying a fee to see what these randos are doing. That's crazy.
Man, come on. What you talking? It's 2020, boy. This 2021, boy. Like people watching everything. There's Twitch, people watching people play video games, people watching people run around the house. Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
People watch people do anything. Yeah. People are listening to you and I talk about.
See, but see, nothing about this is like staged. That is still a reality show. You know what I'm saying? So it's different to me. It's a little different.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain parts. I mean, clearly it's on TV. It's a like nationwide syndicated show.
The producers are in their ears. They're in their
ears. Yeah, I'm sure that they're trying to get some stuff out to people for sure, of course, because you need ratings.
Julie, just call him a nigger. Just call him a nigger.
Yeah, hey, yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, like that's crazy that not being problematic is a turn off for TV producers. Like, wait, so you're telling me you're not gonna start any fights in the house? Oh, well then we can't have you on there. So the very first step, because she was like, Earl, you got to go on the show. Like, you should totally like send in a video or whatever and try to get on the show. And I was like, you know what? Like, why not? Like, I'll send it in. Ain't nobody going to say anything back to me. Like, I'll just, it don't matter. Like, it don't matter.
Right.
So I think the first step was you make a 2-3 minute video or something really, really short. And within that amount of time, you have to convince them why you need to be on the show, why you're special, why you're unique, why people would be invested in you, right? Because you want people to invest in the show. So you need to invest in the characters, right? We are the product. I think I spoke some Spanish. I played guitar. I talked about just a bunch of different eclectic things that I'm into, whatever. I was myself.
You were the perfect Negro for that show. Absolutely. Because it's only gonna be one of y'all. So.
And that's a third reason I wanted to bring this up, actually, because you and I have spoke about the fact that there's a very, very slim, narrow bandwidth of availability for Black people on these types of shows. We just got the first Bachelor. They on season 89. Yeah. So we understand it's slim pickings for us, right? If you're going to be a Black dude in those rooms, in those auditions, there's going to be one of you. Yep. There's going to be one of you that make it all the way to the top.
It might be like one dark-skinned brother and then like
a light skin, yeah.
Yeah, it might be like a light-skinned guy or like maybe a half Black, half Asian guy.
And just trying to hit all the demographics so that they don't get any flack and nobody's coming at them saying that they're racist or they're not inclusive, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, if you can get a couple in one, if you can get a gay Black Asian woman, then you don't have to have any other gays, any other Blacks, any other Asians, because you swept them all up in one person. You got a nice little swirl, so that you don't even have to worry about that anymore. But the point is, and you're right, when you say the whole you were the perfect Black dude, I'm not necessarily going to say that. I will allow you to say it though. But I was looking for a well-rounded Black man to be on the show. I think that's what we're all looking for as Black people.
Did you look at the season in which you were trying to be on to see who was the Black guy that made it?
Yes.
Okay. What was he like?
He was, I think that in his name, somehow the word swag was incorporated in the name. Yeah, like I'm pretty certain it was something like that. Like his nickname, like was Swag, was in there, and he wasn't the worst. He wasn't the worst, right? That painted us out to be wild, but
was he a cornball brother?
No, he wasn't a
Okay.
cornball brother. But see, that's my issue though, is the fact that, and we're gonna have to tell people what cornball brother means. But that's the whole issue is there's always got to be some light, some one shade of the spectrum of black guy that we get. The guy on The Bachelor, by the way, do you know? Have you looked at any of that?
No.
Have you seen him? Go just look up a 1 minute clip of him. Just 1 minute. Just give me a 1 minute clip of him. You don't got to do it now.
Okay.
But cornball.
The one that's on The Bachelor right now.
Right now.
Okay. He has no shape up. Is that what you're telling me? He has no shape up.
He might have a shape up. Look up Bachelor dancing. That's
right
the one you need to see.
I'll wait.
Just trust me on this one.
All right.
But it's always, are we going to get the thug black dude? Are we going to get the cornball black dude? Are we going to get like the nerdy black dude? Are we going to get like whatever the case? But there's always like some small lane, and you very rarely see just a full-bodied, well-rounded, eclectic black man. Okay, that you can't just pin one thing. Okay. That's what we're looking for. So in that case, you're right. I do think that I would have done a better job just for the this is about to be wildly arrogant, just for the advancement of the black perception. Just for the like I would have just for the advancement of the American perception of the black man. Yes, I think that I would have been a better contestant. I think I would have been a better person. Yes. Anywho, I send in this video. A couple weeks later, get straight back to me. I think it was an email or a phone call or something like that. I got like a phone call from California. And as soon as I saw that on my phone, I was like, oh, I think I know who this is. Answered it. It was just that too. And it was, I'm not even gonna lie to you, it was kind of fly too, because I had a chick at the house that was completely new. Like I think it was like the first time. I think it was like the very first time that we had ever hung out, and she was at the crib. And then I get this call from CBS, and they're like, yeah, we'd like you to try out for and she's like, who are you? What are you like? What? She's like, what is happening here? So that was kind of fly. So I was able to sort of stunt for a second. Now, next thing comes in, they're like, you got to come up to DC. We're hosting one of these open auditions. So they were going to have whoever wanted to audition come to DC, come to this hotel or whatever this was, and audition. I show up, but because they called me, because I auditioned already through the video, I was able to cut in front of a line of 200 people. You all cut that. What are y'all doing out here, y'all peasants? It's cold outside. It's windy. I'm going to go inside now. No, the producer, he called me. I'm going in. I'll see you guys later.
They called me.
Walked in there, felt good too. Walked in there, had a nice little, it wasn't an open bar, you had to pay for the drinks, but either way, people down there in this little bar area getting a little loose. People clearly looking at other people, seeing what other people what their shtick is, what their angle is.
Sizing them up.
Sizing each other up, looking at each other like, oh, okay, I get your character. I get your character. Like, I understand what you're trying to bring to the people. Like, okay, whatever. They start calling people in there by fives. I thought that was interesting. I was like, oh, okay, we're going back to see one of the various producers of the show by fives. I finally get called in there, and they have us standing. You have one guy that's a producer sitting in a couch, and five of us kind of standing like in line, kind of like a little semicircle. And he said, I'm going to give each of you 2 minutes, I believe, to convince me why you need to be on the show. Why? Yeah, exactly.
That's an interesting question.
Where he starts, and this was saving grace, where he starts is on the other side of the line. So I already know now I'm going to be the last to speak. So for me, I pay attention. I'm like, well, this is about to be easy for me because I'm about to learn. I'm about to learn what's happening. I'm going to also be looking at him to see if he's giving away any subtle cues as to what he likes, what he doesn't like. The cards are stacked in my favor. The people start talking, going down the line. Oh, I'm kind of crazy. I'm polyamorous. I'm in a 4-way relationship with this person in my house, this person in my house. So it was a lot of interesting stuff. Oh, I got hit by a car once, got a bunch of money, did this. It was just like people had very interesting stories as to what they were trying to put forth for their character. Because again, people are playing these characters.
Right.
I was like, the video that I sent in was really me. It was really me. So I'm just going to go off the strength of me. Okay?
Yeah.
I think the first person gets done talking, the next person as the first person's talking, I'm thinking, he's giving us 2 minutes. But we're all allowed to speak, though. We don't have to like shut up. Because I'm thinking, why would he have 5 people come back at once? Why not just do one at a time? So I'm thinking, he wants us. Go ahead.
2 minutes was for everyone.
No. Every individual gets 2 minutes. Okay. So it's going to end up being 10 minutes altogether.
Right.
But my mind is like, why would you bring back 5 people to audition at the same time if you're going to go one by one? So I thought, no. This is Big Brother. This is a reality TV show. He wants to see us riff. He wants to see the magic right now.
Right.
You telling your one story and only speaking when it's your turn is not what's going to be happening in the house. That's not what shows your communicational skills. That's not what shows the flair that they want to see on the TV. So I'm thinking from the jump, I'm going to steal time from every single one of you fuckers. And you have no idea. So every time someone gets done talking, I start riffing. I start talking about whatever it is they just start talking about and started making jokes about it and having everybody laughing. And I did that down the line. Second person, third person, fourth person. And no one else did it but me. And then I get on to me and I don't know. I forgot what I say or whatever. But by then the deed's already done because I've stolen time from everyone else. I've already gotten 2 minutes of speaking through everyone else. And then now my 2 minutes is about to start. So I go through that, leave there. Couple of weeks later, get the email. We want you to move to the next round of contestants. I'm like, okay. Now we after it.
Yeah.
Now we after it.
Let's go.
I want to say I had a good interview, a really good Zoom or Skype interview with this guy. The next one came because I got through that round. Now, by this point in time I'm speaking about, I believe that I'm top 30.
Ooh. You
have to understand there are hundreds of thousands of people. Like people went out for this.
Yeah.
I'm now top 30, about to be on this show. I'm like, oh, this is guaranteed. I'm about to be on this show. I need to start getting stuff together because I'm about to go out to LA.
Yeah, this nigga was talking to Chris Hansen himself.
No, I was not. No, wrong show. Yeah, it's the wrong. That's the wrong type of Big Brother move. That's different. That's a different type of we're always watching sort of vibe. That's a completely different thing.
Oh shit.
So that show is wild. But anyway,
call him Chris Handsome.
So here's where I fucked up, and here's the bit of the story that not one soul on this planet knows until right now.
Oh wow.
I fucked up because for some reason, and this is why I bring in the depression and anxiety into it. I know from feeling it myself, from speaking to other people, that people doing drugs, drinking alcohol, a lot of the times when they get caught up in that, they're doing it because they feel like they're their better selves doing it. Whenever they smoked a little bit of weed, oh yeah, I'm more chill, I'm happier, I'm a more giving person, I'm this or I'm that, or I drink. Oh, I'm more social when I drink. I can talk to people more, I'm more fluid, whatever the case may be. People a lot of times think that they're a better version. And I'm here to tell you, no, you're not. You're just caught up in it at the moment. You're not your better version. I decided, let me go ahead and take copious amounts of Adderall for this last interview.
And you hadn't done that for any of the other interviews?
No, I did it all on the strength of me. And I should have continued to do it on the strength of Earl himself and what he brings, because that's what they saw the whole time. That's what they liked. That's what they were drawn to. That's what attracted them. But yet, for some reason, I'm thinking in the back of my mind, maybe I'm delusional. Maybe I've been lucky up until this point. I need to crank it up a notch. Adderall. I need to be zooming. I need to be there. But here's the issue with that. When I've taken Adderall before, and a lot of people I've seen, is you get way too analytical. You're just thinking, and you're thinking at 1,000 miles per hour, and you're trying to get everything right. You're answering every question perfect. If I was bubbling in circles on a Scantron, I would have had a 1,000%. If I would have filled that in on a Scantron, they'd have said, "Yo, fuck Big Brother, but we're gonna put you in Harvard instead." That's how well I would have been answering them questions. But you know what's lost with that is the funny, the personality, the looseness. Everything is now rigid. And so this is something I've spoken about with people when they're super, super anxious about job interviews. Like, I'm going through these top 10 interview questions of all time, and I'm going through my strengths and my weaknesses, and what it is I'm supposed to ask the interviewer back at the end, because they say you're always supposed to have something to ask the interviewer back. And I'm going through all these things. I'm going to get it down. I was just having a conversation with a super smart brother at my job the other day. It was a guest, and he wanted to just have conversation with me because it started from something else. He thought that I was either from the islands or the UK. And then we started talking about why that was the case and how I need to be able to use that as something else to continue to move on. It was a long conversation, but I talked to him about, and he's interviewed mad people in his life. He was like 60 years old, worked for the CIA and a bunch of other stuff. And he said, I might actually get him in touch with you. I actually talked to him about database management, because he actually does mad cyber stuff. And he was like, I mentor a bunch of people. I've probably put 50 plus kids through college. If you ever want to talk to me, here's my card. If you have someone else that's getting into this cyber field, artificial intelligence, let me know. So I might put you on to it. Yeah, because he's a real cool guy. But anywho, I was talking to him about how when you're in those job interviews, do you need to have answers for the questions? Yes, of course. Like, you need to have answers for questions in life in general, but they want to know if they like you. You're in the interview sitting across from them, and they want to know if they can stand working with you. Are you going to be able to work with a diverse group? Can you work with the people that are already under me, my employees now? Can you work with them? Are you going to be a good fit? Are you going to be a good piece to this puzzle here? A good cog to the wheel? Are you? So in that same sense, it's not about getting everything right. It's about being yourself. It's about letting loose, especially my dumbass. We're talking about TV. We're talking about Big Brother. We're talking about a reality TV show. And so for me to get in that mindset of thinking I wasn't good enough, that the strength of Earl himself and his characteristics and qualities wasn't good enough, I need to go take these drugs to enhance. Then I went into the thing, and I could sense. Now, they don't tell you that this was the reason, but in my mind to this day, this was the reason. I could sense it on his face. I could tell, probably because of the Adderall, and I was super like tuned into everything that was going on. But I could tell on his face, it wasn't quite the same reaction I was getting the other times I had talked to this guy. Everything was clear cut, rigid, but all of that fun and buoyancy had kind of fell to the wayside. It subsided. And I could see that in his response. And after that, probably a couple of weeks later, and that was the last interview. If I had rocked that interview, I would have been on the show. Get a couple, just just some regular automated. It wasn't even, they don't even give you the courtesy of really writing the email out too. They just gave me some regular old mad people had been CC'd on the email. It was just like, yeah, you're not,
you
sorry.
didn't make it. Good luck next time.
Yeah, good luck. Like, enjoy not being on the TV show. I know.
See, nigga, you could have been on Big Brother, and then we could have started this podcast, and the shit would have been out there, man.
Seven Cent.